to What's Up in the Sky 60th edition with me, Lead Night Sky Ranger Jeff. A special treat occurs this month as we have a chance to see Titan's shadow cross Saturn's face. And I introduce a bit of astronomy humor at the end. Mercury comes out from the glare of the sun on the 6th, shining at magnitude minus 1.5. It will be just 3 degrees above the horizon 30 minutes after sunset, so you'll need an excellent western view. Mercury and Jupiter get in conjunction on the 8th. It will continue to climb higher in the sky during the month. It will go from full to 46% lit by the end of the month and dim to 0.36 magnitude, but also increase in size from 5 arcseconds to 7.6 arcseconds. Venus has just passed greatest elongation on the 1st. It rises at 0330 on the 1st, being 24 arcseconds in width and 50% lit, and rises at 0250 on the 30th, being 18 arcseconds in size and 64% lit. Look to the moon on the 3rd when a trio of gorgeous craters with high ridge walls show just after the terminator passes them. Look almost due south just below the equator to find our trio. The northern one is Tomulus. See if you can spot first the small crater in its northeast and then directly across a much smaller one. Heading slightly south, we encounter Alphonsus with a dominant central peak from the impact. Further south, we stop at crater Arzachel, which also happens to be the youngest of the 3 with a more pronounced crater walls. You can also check out the straight wall that is to the south and west of the trio. Go back on the 4th and check out the floor of Alphonsus. Look for the darker gray areas, which is actually ash from volcanoes. Mars continues to fall behind us, being some 30 degrees above the horizon on the 15th and setting just before midnight. However, its diminutive 5 arcsecond size will not reveal surface details with typical telescopes, but you cannot mistake its orange-red glow. 4 Vesta, the second largest asteroid, starts the month at magnitude 6.1, fading to 6.7 as we leave it behind in our orbit. Consult the Minor Planet Center for exact coordinates. You'll find it in Virgo to the south and about 43 degrees in elevation at dark on the 15th. Jupiter shows up barely above the horizon at the beginning of the month, so only if you have an excellent western view can you see it, and then just for mere moments. Jupiter will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 24th and not viewable for about a month. Saturn comes up in the east at 0230 on the 1st, and by the end of the month, 30 minutes after midnight. We have now crossed the equator of Saturn, and so for the next 13 years we will be looking upwards through the rings, which should show an interesting illumination of the rings. Watch the surface of Saturn for any white areas, which indicates a storm is brewing. On the morning of the 16th, Titan's shadow will cross Saturn, beginning at 0411 and lasting until 10:06. I will put this in the calendar of events. More of these transits will occur as we are close to the ring's plane. Uranus is in conjunction with the Sun and not viewable. Neptune at the end of the month is 1 degree due north of Saturn, shining at magnitude 7.8. Its small 2 arcsecond disk will reveal nothing but a blue dot. Our comet of the month is 29P Swashman Walkman 1. Use the Minor Planet Ephemeris Center for exact locations. You will find it on the 15th, about 30 degrees elevation to the west at sunset and setting by 2300. Once at the correct location, crank up the power to at least 150 times. How do you do that? The formula is in the focal length of your telescope or binoculars divided by the focal length of the lens you use. So my main telescope is 1000 millimeters, and if I use my 4.7 millimeter lens, it will result in 1000 divided by 4.7, or approximately 212 power. My next less powerful telescope lens is the one I use the most for magnification, the 9mm, which would give a power of 111. The tail of a comet is generally blue, which is fluorescent gas, while the halo is colored green from also fluorescent gas. There are no meteor showers in June. Our constellation of the month is Serpens Caput. You will find the snake that Ophiuchus is holding in the south-southeast sky at about 50 degrees elevation. Our object of the month, while technically in Serpens Caput, is actually halfway between it and Virgo. M5, Messier number 5. It is a globular cluster some 160 light-years in diameter, containing 100,000 stars, including 2 pulsars. It is receding from our solar system at 50 kilometers per second. Estimated to be about 10.5 billion years old, it nonetheless has a plethora of new bright blue stars. Our question of the month is, what are the Voyager spacecraft doing? Both of them are still functioning despite 50 years in space. Most of their functioning has been ceased to conserve power. There are, however, 3 instruments still active. Cosmic ray, magnetic field, charged particles, and plasma waves can still be measured. The last image of our solar system was taken on February 14, 1990. After that, the cameras were shut down and likely will never be restarted, as the software and computers that analyze the images no longer exist. Both Voyagers are now greater than 140 astronomical units away, so that's 93 million miles times 140 equals 13 billion miles away. Also, neither unit has a telescope, so any photo it would take at that distance would show the stars as dots, and the planets might not even show. Here is the orrery for the month. Here is the calendar of events. So, how much is the moon worth? The answer is $1, because it has 4 quarters. Go out and enjoy the warm summer night sky, look up and wonder.